Ole Miss fans need a hotel for the game weekend? Many OTAs keep all the commissions, but at Fan Plans, you still get your loyalty points, receive direct confirmation from the hotel, and you support Rebel Grove. Visit fanplans.com/Rebel Grove today.
Welcome into another edition of the Mason Brooks Show, presented by The Rogue. I'm Neil McCready. That is Ole Miss offensive lineman Mason Brooks, back from Baton Rouge, where things did not go particularly well for the Rebels, especially in the second half. Ole Miss loses at LSU 45-20. Rebels now 7-1 overall, 3-1 in the SEC. They head to Mason's home state of Texas on Saturday night to face the Aggies of Texas A&M. The Aggies lose at South Carolina 30-24. That the game between Ole Miss and Texas A&M in College Station, 6:30. You can see it on the SEC network. Before we get to Mason, I want to tell you real quick, we're brought to you each and every week by The Rogue. It's your destination for fine men's clothing. Their stylists hand select pieces from top designers, from work to lifestyle to nightlife. Is the perfect something for everyone at The Rogue. All of the best items. Peter Millar, Martin Dingman, Jack Victor, Halsey, True Grit, so many more. I was driving through Jackson today. Noticed if you buy one Jack Victor item, your second Jack Victor item is 50% off. So they got all sorts of deals as we get into the holiday season. 4450 I-55 North in Jackson, or therogue.com. Mason, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. This team hasn't had a loss in a while. Certainly hasn't had one since you've been there.
Right.
Kind of a game that looked like it was shaping up to be a track meet in the third quarter, and then they hit Jackson on a play where he was throwing into the end zone on second and goal. Got an interception from Joe Fuchsia, and then from that point forward, it was all Tigers in the fourth quarter, a 21-0 LSU fourth quarter. From your perspective, kind of where did it turn on you guys?
I think we came out. I think we came a little flat in the second half. I wouldn't say disappointed. I just think it's not our standard. And you got to keep swinging for four quarters. That's how the game works. You can't just have a good first quarter, a good first half, or tight game, and then expect to just win. I mean, we're playing the SEC, and we've talked about this every week. Everyone's good, and no one's going to lay down, and records are deceptive, and that's a damn good LSU team. Yeah. Players everywhere that are coming together, and you just can't kind of roll it out there. You got to stay on people's necks, and I think we had some guys get a little shaken up, and just some different things happen, and then obviously some untimely errors and blunders that hurt us. Obviously, as you saw on TV, and some calls not go our way, but frustrated. I think just because I know the standard that this team holds for themselves, and difficult to watch. Those guys, obviously, with me, not playing a central role from a playing standpoint, frustrating for me to watch these guys that I work with every day, so let down by their own performances. And I think that's one thing that people don't, always think about, a loss, and, they're frustrated as fans, and they're frustrated with the records and stuff. But I mean, this team, especially these guys that I spend every day with, they leave everything out on that field. No one kind of just rolls their helmet out, and that's implied, right? It's, SEC players, no one's trying to make mistakes, but it's hard when you see these guys hurting, fighting and clawing, and guys that are banged up, doing everything they can to play and help the squad, and coming up short. So, from that perspective, and from the perspective I have, uniquely on the sideline, I'm hurt for my buddies, and I'm hurt that obviously the outcome wasn't what we wanted. That being said, we're a big next page team, and so obviously, like you said, moving to Texas and Texas A&M, and new week, new opportunities, and a lot of games left ahead of us. So That's my immediate concerns.
It's a program that hasn't lost a lot of games in the last couple of years. How was the locker room after the game? What was the I guess the bus, the flight, all of that stuff back? Did you sense guys bouncing back a little bit, or was it pretty somber?
Yeah, like you said, my first loss with this program, and I haven't lost a game myself since the conference championship game last season. For me, and then before that, not really a whole lot of losing in my career since a younger player. It's just interesting, to see for me, how the staff reacts and how the players react. I haven't seen how guys handle a loss, and kind of like life, different people handle different things different ways. Some people, let's move on. There's no point in moping. Some guys, a little bit more emotional when they play. And so likewise, when they come to the locker room, more raw emotions coming to the top just because that's how people operate. Whereas some people are more analytical, and, you can see that player to player and personality to personality. And, I think the attitude overall was, disappointment and not complacency, and not, no one's happy with the loss, but it didn't feel like guys were like, whatever, we tried, and that hasn't been the vibe all season, and that's not what Lane's working on with us. And so, no surprise there. But yeah, first loss and experiencing that, and the standard is, 1-0 every week. And so we didn't hit the standard, but, overall, you look back and we've been doing a lot of good things. And so I think we just need to move forward now. You can't dwell on the past too much. So
obviously you guys are going to get to work this week. Some stuff kind of got put on film, which is the way the league works, right? I mean, every team's got a weakness, every team's got strengths, then your weaknesses will get exposed at some point. Look like LSU, and look, they have some uniquely gifted athletes on the edge, that kind of thing. And they brought pressure on the outside. They were able to kind of find some different ways. You guys obviously are going to have to prepare for that, because now that people have shown it, if teams feel like they can do it, they're going to try to copy it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had a really talented freshman from Texas, number 40, and they
he's a stud. He's a monster.
He's a great player, and they used him more, I think, than we foresaw. Really fast off the edge, and they brought a lot of different pressures. And I haven't done a deep dive into the tape yet, so I can't give you a firm answer onto what exactly was happening, because sometimes you see one thing and it looks like this, and you see the big picture, and all of a sudden, okay, well, it was this or that, or different things. But yeah, a lot. They brought a lot of pressure, and they had some good athletes, and so does everyone going forward. I mean, like we say all the time, SEC. It doesn't get any easier, and so the way the staff works is they adjust, and we're going to adjust, and we're going to move forward, and not look back. But yeah, no, there were some dogs all over the field there for LSU, and I still like our guys versus anybody, but it's just one of those days where you look back and you're frustrated, and it's kind of all it is there. So
we'll turn our attention to Texas A&M in just a second, but first a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. It can be tough to train your brain to stay in problem-solving mode when faced with a challenge in life, but when you learn how to find your own solutions, there's no better feeling. A therapist can help you become a better problem solver, making it easier to accomplish your goals, no matter how big or small. I've used therapy as a way to handle stress, clear negative thoughts, mentally relax a little. It's a life changer for me. If you're thinking of giving therapy a try for yourself, BetterHelp's a great option. It's convenient, accessible, affordable. It's entirely online. Get matched with a therapist after filling out a brief survey. Switch therapist anytime you'd like. When you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/MPW today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/MPW. All right, Texas A&M, for you, it's heading home. Did you grow up for or against the Aggies? Were you a Horns fan? What was your college? I know your dad played at Arkansas, so what was your college kind of affiliation growing up there in the Lone Star State?
We have a split tree in my household. Father played at Arkansas, obviously. Attended Texas for grad school, so he's kind of got some horns to him. I grew up in Austin, so I like Vince and the Horns, Colt McCoy, and those guys I grew up watching. my uncle, my great granddad, my sister were all Aggies. So the whole Aggie Nation, Aggie Network, runs deep there. And then all three of my best friends from high school ended up going to A&M and living together. And so, they drank the A&M Kool-Aid, so to speak, as we say in Texas. There's kind of two sides of that. I was not fully bought into the whole College Station shenanigans, but I got a ton of friends that go there. Lots of friends that go there. And, so for me, I've been there a lot. My sister went there, obviously, and graduated from there. And, my mom went to Baylor, so we're just kind of all over. But no, Aggie Nation was not my my jam growing up. So it'll be interesting to go there. That being said, we played there in high school, played at Kyle Field playoff game, and I love that field. I love the opportunity to go play home and play there. And, like them or not, that's something that, you dream of as a kid, playing these big stadiums in Texas and, playing DKR, playing Kyle Field. And so to have the opportunity to suit up and run on that field is going to be, special for everyone, but, very special for me to experience that. So
you're being very diplomatic with the way that you describe it. It is different. I mean, and look, they have
it is different.
The people who go there love it, and so they're doing something right. This is not meant as a criticism. I mean, it comes across as one, and I realize that. And every place can be kind of weird. Every place has weirdness to it.
Yeah,
but like they have a lot of weird. There's a lot there. The midnight
yell and
the cheerleader guy and all the stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, look, I got like diplomatic because I got a lot of family members that are going to be watching this that are going to hop in my head if I say anything too crazy about the Aggies, or my buddies will. But
I don't want them coming after me either. So I'm trying.
Hey, man, they roll deep. The Aggies roll deep now. They don't show up just one Aggie to a party. But yeah, man, it's a weird feeling being in College Station, and the fans that travel the game, they're going to feel it. It is funky. There's some funky out there in College Station. I don't know if it's the water or what, but it is a little cultish in nature, I think is a cordial way of putting that. So
I'm going to guess it's not the water. I don't I don't know what exactly it is, and I can't really put my finger on it, but I'm going to guess it's not the water. It's just, and what's weird about it is that, and this week it'll happen to me. I'll get contacted by a couple of Texas A&M like media kind of outlets to come on their shows and whatnot, and they will be the nicest people.
Oh my gosh,
they're so incredibly nice, and then I'll feel guilty for making fun of the
Aggies. Are the best. They're the best. Aggie Network runs deep. My buddies always say like, "Yeah, man, I was like, you worried about getting a job? Oh man, the Aggie Network runs deep. We'll be fine." Like all right, man. But it's the nicest place, but it's that Texas pride. I think that that people hear about. Texans, we're proud to be Texans. Like that takes hold in College Station Texans, and there's no one more proud of their school and where they're at than Aggies. And so that the 12th man and what that brings to the table. To be able to see that, experience that, even on the other side of it, will be really really unique and special to go up against. So I'm pumped for that.
So when the Aggies and the Horns play each other, do you kind of catch yourself cheering for the Horns?
I have mixed emotion about the Horns after my portal adventures. Don't know how I feel about. I don't vibe with any Texas teams right now. I'm good. I'm all Ole Miss all the way, probably for the rest of my life. Ole Miss and WKU is what I rock with. But yeah, I don't know who I'd go for there in that rivalry. I go for Texas in the Red River rivalry. I'll tell you that. I've never been a Boomer Cat. So
one of these weeks, I want to do a deep dive into your portal experience because I know it was crazy. I know that coming out of high school, you were lightly recruited for whatever myriad of reasons, and you ended up Western Kentucky, and it worked out really well for you. But when you got into the portal, was there any part of you that was kind of like hoping, hey, maybe Texas A&M, something like that, I can go home and play in that state? Did you get any attention from the Aggies?
Yeah, the Aggies kind of dropped. Hey, we kind of got our guys. We can start this conversation, and that wasn't really what I was looking for. So that to me was a little bit easier of an answer. When you're trying to quickly find answers. The Horns, I wouldn't say I went after the Horns, but going home to Austin was something that I really wanted. So I was really hoping that I would get something out of the Horns, just so I could talk to them. I went to a bunch of Texas camps when I was younger, and that was something that I wanted as a kid, just to play for your hometown team, and what that means. That being said, I also I talked to Baylor in the portal a lot. Talked to Texas Tech. Didn't talk to TCU a whole lot. Talked to Houston. Obviously in high school, most of my offers were small Texas schools, Sam Houston State and Abilene Christian. And so the Texan in me definitely wanted to go home and play in Texas. But being in Oxford has exceeded my expectations, which were already high. I freaking love it here. I love the people here. I love the South. There's something really special about it. And I'm able to kind of bring my Texas here. The people here have similar vibe, and they're kind, and they'll walk up to you and talk to you, which I love. But I'm able to bring a little bit of my Texas flair here, to this great place of Oxford. So not too crushed about it looking back now, but definitely was looking to maybe go home there. So it was a whirlwind for sure, and the tornado and everything. It was an experience.
Yeah, actually, we'll do that soon. We'll dive into it. All right, you guys are coming off a loss. You still control your own destiny, at least to a certain degree. I mean, LSU, somebody would have to beat LSU, but you still have a lot of control over your own destiny. A&M, on the other hand, I mean, it's kind of desperation time for them. They if they're going to salvage anything out of the season at all, they have to beat Ole Miss on Saturday night. When you go into a game like this where you guys have just lost, and you're playing a team that's lost 3 in a row, could have easily been 4 in a row. I mean, this much. I mean, just the inside of a crossbar from being 0-4 in the league. When that kind of dynamic intersects, can you feel the desperation on the field a little bit?
I mean, yeah. I can't remember what coach I had that used to say, like, corner dogs something, or hungry dogs run faster, something like that. But I think, when you have a team that's like that and looking for identity and looking to punch someone in the mouth, I mean, honestly, not too far off of what, we kind of experienced at LSU, this past week. I mean, not the same, but just, people kind of wrote them off. And, if you get an edge and a chip from that, and you got players like people do in the SEC, I said, I say it, I keep saying it, I say it again until the show is done, and then I'll say it the rest of my life. These teams have players everywhere. It's not like, we got, a cupcake team on the schedule this week. I mean, you saw Vanderbilt, Missouri playing this week. I mean, it was, those are supposed to be whatever, it's dogfight there. These teams are good, and you go to Kyle Field and, to this team that Jimbo's got with talent all over the place, and just kind of trying to find an identity. And they're not going to find it against us. That kind of has to be the mentality. Like, look, we're going to come in here. It's a new week. It's a new slate. Let's execute. Let's get back on track. And not take these guys not take these guys lightly, but just let's go in and focus on us and do us and play our game. And let the chips fall where they fall. And so I think that's where, the mindset will be this week. And I think the guys will do a good job of locking in and be ready to go. And I know the coaches will get a good game plan set up, and, we'll take a big swing when we get to Texas. So
the Mason Brooks Show also brought to you by Liston & Dees. It's a full-service law firm located in Ridgeland, Mississippi. Focuses on complex civil litigation. Liston & Dees' clients include individuals, businesses, and state governments throughout the United States. All right, we won't do a show next Sunday because you guys have an open date. I know it's one that is much needed, much look forward to probably. And then we'll come back in 2 weeks and we'll talk on the Sunday before the Alabama game. You guys entertain Alabama here in a couple of weeks at Vaught-Hemingway. So that means Halloween will come and go between now and our next visit. You a Halloween guy?
I'm not a huge Halloween guy. College Halloween has a different vibe to it. It's
yeah.
There's a couple routes. You can go the promiscuous route, which people like to do, and you can go the funny route with your whole costumes, or you could just not do anything, which is what I've done because I'm just playing football and that's what I'm worried about. But I've almost always been playing football games. I think 2 years ago we were out at BYU playing a football game on Halloween. So I haven't done a whole lot of that, but just was I think growing up I was a Jedi, and then I was a pirate, and then I was a pirate Jedi, and my mom kept just kind of recycling the two costumes there. So I was like I was Jesus one year or something. I don't know. We just kept recycling the cloak. So not a huge Halloween family growing up. But yeah, no, I definitely like the candy aspect. The little chubby kid in me likes the candy aspect for sure.
What's your favorite when you were a kid? What was the favorite thing to get in your? We always had like a jack-o'-lantern, a plastic jack.
Yes, we had the plastic jack-o'-lantern. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, oh yeah,
it had depth to it. You could some people could carry a bag. That bag got full. The jack-o'-lantern had room to kind of maneuver. What was your favorite candy when you, at the end of the day, when you dumped it all out to inspect your haul? What was your favorite thing?
Okay. Well, I would say as an adult, as a young man, I don't even know what, as a tween or whatever I am now. I like Haribo Gold Bears. Those are like my bread and butter. The little tiny packs, because the bears are like, this is making me sound so fat. The bears are like firmer in the little tiny packs, kind of like when you get a small pack of goldfish. I swear, when you get the carton, okay. I'm going full fat on you. It's all right. When you get a carton of goldfish, they taste like toastier. When you get a bag of goldfish, they taste like, I don't know, crunchier, softer. Same thing with Haribo Gold Bears. When you get the small bag, they taste a little firmer, especially if it's cold out. So I like those. Growing up, I was a Reese's kid. Freaking loved Reese's Cups, Reese's Pieces, the small Reese's Cups. That was like one of the first things to go. That and Snickers were off the shelf like that. I'm not a Skittles guy.
Really? Okay.
I'm very actually anti-Skittles.
Are you a Starburst guy? Starburst at all?
I'm not a Starburst guy either. I hated the little 2-packs. That would frustrate me. See, my sister liked them. So I think the big deal would be the trades that would go on. And what I didn't realize at the time, that I'm realizing now, is that my parents would take a cut of the trades, which was just getting our candy. That's frustrating. I have to talk to my parents about that. I just now that I think back on that.
It's a generational thing. One day you'll have kids and you'll take a cut of their candy, and you'll realize, this is just an interest that's paid down over the course of time.
Yeah. So I'm returning the favor. No, they definitely, my parents took like anything that was like weird. My dad took and ate. So I appreciate that, Dad. Which I thought he was doing me a favor. But he was just snagging candy. And then my mom would always take a mom tax, and take a couple out of our pumpkins. They would get lighter kind of as the week went on. But, with my birthday in October too, just a lot of sweets going on there for me. So definitely loading up there.
What day is your birthday?
Oh, it was the 11th, actually. Just passed.
It came and gone. Okay, well, happy birthday.
Came and gone. Thank you. Appreciate it. 23, so I'm feeling old. So
yeah. You don't know anything about old. You have no clue about old. I resent you saying it. All right. So happy Halloween to you. Hopefully you'll get some treats and such in your jack-o'-lantern. And good luck on the return to Texas.
Yes, sir.
Sorry?
I said, yes, sir.
I thought you said it was the third. I was like, the third?
I agree with you.
No, yeah, so good luck with the return to Texas, and tell the family that I said hello, and we'll be back with another edition of the Mason Brooks Show in 2 weeks when Ole Miss is getting ready to face the Alabama Crimson Tide here in Oxford. So for Mason Brooks, I'm Neil McCready. Don't forget we're brought to you by The Rogue, 4450 I-55 North in Jackson, or therogue.com. Take care.